And it is day 3 with the playmaking badges, so I'm going to hop right into this. Let's waste no time. Let's go bailout. I'm going to put this into B. I like to have it at least bronze because a lot of times you are going to find yourself in situations where you do have to pass out of a shot. A lot of guys rotate a little late. It's definitely something you think about getting, so that's right at B. Then we're going to go needle threader. That's easily A, just because you have to have the badge these days. Anytime you try to make a pass and you throw it through somebody's face, you throw it on their leg, it's because you didn't have needle threader. But it's almost a needed badge for any passer, simply because 2K is just going to make you throw bad passes if you don't have it. Now, probably one of the lower badges we're going to find is Dream Shake. Now, I don't really think this is a D badge, but compared to all the other playmaking badges, a lot of these are really good badges, so it kind of has to go in D. Dream Shake is kind of just getting ankle breakers in the post when you do shimmy moves, which I haven't actually got it purple to try it out yet, but I have had it on my character at some point, and shimmy moves in the post don't normally even go in. So even if you get your guy completely open, if you do a shimmy hook, shimmy fade, it's not going to go in as much as if you just did a fadeaway 3. So because of that, it is D. Next, we're going to do handles for days. I would put this between A and B, but a lot of people in Park love this badge, and even in Pro-Am, if you just come up the floor and you make one move every single time, you play very fundamentally, you still are going to need handles for days. That'll rack up and get you tired, so you needed at least silver for any guard that actually is going to dribble the ball. Stop and go. I'm kind of cut between B and C, but I'm going to go C. It isn't exactly needed. If you know how to stop your momentum and kind of cross people through that, then you really don't need stop and go. It's kind of a badge that doesn't really have a place. Which brings us now to quick first step, which is easily S. This is one of the first badges you want on every single player. If you don't have it, you're going to drive very slowly, and even if you're a shooter, if you can get by your man, you're going to draw defenders and you can kick out. So you definitely want that badge, even on bigs, if you want to make a quick move. I have very slow players who are much faster simply just because of quick first step gold. Now, pass fake maestro is probably the worst badge. Actually, not even probably, it's totally the worst badge here, as once again, it only affects computers. So online, it's not really going to have much use for you. Similar to the pump fake badge, either people are going to react to it or they're not. Having a badge isn't going to make their character just shoot off to the side for no reason. That's not fair to the player. Then we have downhill. I'm actually going to put this in C, although I'd put it in between B and C if I could. It's a fun badge for certain playstyles, but if we're being honest, a lot of the times somebody just gets the rebound and then they chunk it the entire length of the floor. So those situations where one guy has it and he just speeds past everybody are few and far between, but there are situations like that in the game. It is a badge that serves a purpose and it's something you consider getting, but is it a badge that will take effect every single play of the game? No. Now, post-spin technician, I'm going to also put into C just because it kind of feels I'm going to try to stop saying niche in these videos because I know last video I said niche a lot, but it is kind of a niche badge. You have to play a certain way to actually make use of it. A lot of bigs just do a post-spin cheese, but I haven't really found that I need it. I haven't really found that it does too much. I did have it on my character in the 1v1 tournament and it kind of ended well, but can I say that it was completely because of post-spin technician and just because my guy couldn't guard me? I can't exactly say that. So I think C, it fits pretty well. You're not going to pick it up on most builds that are playmakers. Next, we're going to go Impluckable, which is two of these little chain badges here. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's that one. Now, Unpluggable sounds alright. It doesn't let you get ripped as often, but if we're being honest, you're still going to get ripped, man. If you have this purple, it's really not going to make that much of a difference. If you just get red very easily, some character jumps over your cross and just throws their leg into the ball, you're still going to drop it. It doesn't change much. It's not as completely useless as Pass Fake Maestro. That probably deserves its own tier of trash, but I think it's right around the Dream Shake type of area as far as usefulness goes in badges. Now, Lob City Passer, I'm also going to put this one into C. You probably pick it up more than some of these other badges, but the simple fact is you don't really need it. If you have a good passer, if you have a good dunker, it's just going to work out. You don't need Lob City Dunker or Lob City Passer, although it will help a tiny bit. You're still going to finish those lobs. It's not a big problem. Now, Flashy Passer, I'm going to put this into D just because it's strictly a flashy badge. You don't have to do a flashy pass. It doesn't create a situation that is more beneficial to your team rather than if you had just done a regular pass. It'll give you a little more takeover meter if you get the assist off of the flashy pass with this badge, but there's kind of a consistent theme I'm going with here. If the badge is just going to give you a takeover meter, a lot of people, including me, just don't value it that high, so D is right where it sits. Now, Dimer, I'm putting this into A. It could even go to S, but I kind of like having one badge in S for each one of these tier lists because quick first step is better than Dimer, as every single person wants to get quick first step. Dimer, a lot of builds can't even get it because of their build, but it does help tremendously. Any layup or jump shot that comes off of a pass with a Dimer pass, it's going to go in way more often. As long as it counts as an assist to the guy who passed it. The numbers behind it are pretty ridiculous, so it has to go in at least A. Next we have Break Starter, which I am also putting into C. A lot of people would want this higher, similar to Bailout. But the thing is, how many full court passes have you made off the rebound and you didn't have Break Starter? I have builds that are just decent rebounders. They have about an 85 pass accuracy, and they can throw that thing the entire length of the court, not have the guy fumble it. It's completely fine. Break Starter is just for people who have absolutely no skill. They just want to throw it the entire length of the floor every time for no reason. And those passes usually get picked off anyway just because they're not smart. So Break Starter actually not needed that much. Now Space Creator I'm also going to put into C. It helps with doing snatchback dribbles, but other than that, it really serves no purpose. And if you're a good player who knows that the guy's just going to run down the floor, do a snatchback every single time, then you just don't move. You don't get affected by it. It's not really a big problem. So it'll sit at C. Now Floor General I'm going to put at B just because it makes everybody on your team better. If you have this badge purple, then everybody on your team while you're on the court, except you, will have +4 in every offensive attribute. So it's going to help your shooters, it's going to help your slashers, it's going to help your dribblers. It'll help literally everything, and that's kind of too much value for it to go any lower than B. I only have it at B because a lot of people actually do not pick it up. A lot of people are kind of selfish. But if you had somebody on your team with Floor General, you definitely wouldn't mind it. You want that. Next is Ankle Breaker, which I will also put at B. Ankle Breaker is more of a getting your guy to freeze when you do dribble moves, which allows you to go around them and make plays with the ball, rather than just having them fall all the time. If you have very bad defensive ratings, which a lot of people don't, unless, you know, you're playing Park and everybody just has an offensive threat, then it's not going to be too crazy of a badge for you. It's not as useful as these other ones. I think it's totally fair to have it in B. And Tight Handles are going to put with Ankle Breaker, because it kind of does the exact same thing as Ankle Breaker. Just has your moves be a little more potent and affect the defender a little more. That's kind of it, very simple. A lot of these badges are useful. None of these badges are really bad, except for maybe Pass Fake Maestro. But none of them exactly hurt you, similar to Steady Shooter does in the shooting badge tier list. So I really wouldn't advise against getting any of these badges except for maybe Flashy Passer and Pass Fake Maestro. Other than that, if your build suits it, if your playstyle suits it, all of these badges could help you. Alright, that one's pretty short, that one's pretty easy. Didn't really cause me much stress. Once again, you can follow my Twitch in the description. You can subscribe for more. I do have another series I've been working on. I'm kind of gaining footage for that. But as for now, tomorrow I'm going to do the defensive badge tier list. And then I'm going to post my sliders video, which will explain why I have it the way I do and what each slider does. And then I'll finally get into that series that I've been kind of hyping up. Alright, now get out of here.